A little girl begged a biker and his K-9 partner. Her voice was desperate and breaking. "Please save my mom," she cried, pulling on his leather vest with both hands. The retired police dog immediately alerted, his nose working the air. What they found inside that house was terrifying, and what they discovered later was even worse. Marcus Steele Jenkins rides through a residential neighborhood in Nashville, Tennessee, on a cold November morning at 7:30 a.m. The Renegade's MC vice president is heading home after an overnight shift at his security company, where he manages a team protecting commercial properties across the city. He's 43 years old, with 20 years of riding experience and a reputation in the club for staying calm in crisis situations. Riding next to his bike in a custom-built sidecar with padded seating and safety harness is Titan, his 6-year-old German shepherd with intelligent brown eyes and a distinctive scar across his left shoulder from taking down an armed suspect. Titan is a retired police K-9 who served 8 years with Metro Nashville Police Department in narcotics detection and criminal apprehension before a knee injury during a pursuit forced his retirement 2 years ago. Marcus adopted him through a police K-9 retirement program. They're inseparable partners now, Titan accompanying Marcus on rides, to work, everywhere. The dog still has all his training, all his instincts. He just can't chase suspects anymore because of that knee. But he can still detect danger. As Marcus slows for a stop sign, a little girl runs into the street. She can't be more than 7 years old. Her feet are bare. She's wearing pajamas. Her face is streaked with tears. She runs directly at his motorcycle, waving her arms frantically. Marcus stops immediately. Titan's ears go up, his body tense and alert. The dog knows something is wrong. "Help! Please help!" The girl sobs, grabbing Marcus's vest. "My mom won't wake up! Something's wrong! Please!" Marcus kneels down to her level. "Slow down, sweetheart. What's your name?" "Lily. Lily Morrison. My mom is in the house. She won't wake up. I tried shaking her. She's breathing, but it's weird. Please, you have to help her." "Where's your house?" "Right there." Lily points to a small house 3 doors down. The front door is open. Marcus can see it from here. "Is anyone else inside?" "No, just me and Mom. Please hurry." Marcus pulls out his phone and dials 911 as he follows Lily toward the house. Titan jumps out of the sidecar and follows close, his nose already working. "This is Marcus Jenkins. I need ambulance and police to 312 Oakmont Avenue. Possible medical emergency. Woman unresponsive, small child involved." The dispatcher confirms help is coming. Marcus pockets his phone as they reach the front door. The moment he crosses the threshold, Titan stops. The dog's entire body goes rigid. He backs up 3 steps, whining urgently, pawing at Marcus's leg. Marcus has worked with canines enough to know what this means. Titan is alerting to danger. Not a person, not drugs, something environmental. "Lily, stay outside," Marcus orders. He pulls his shirt up over his nose and mouth and enters the house quickly. The living room is messy but normal. A woman lies on the couch, unconscious. Her skin has a strange cherry-red tint. Her breathing is shallow and labored. Marcus grabs her under the arms and drags her toward the door. She's dead weight. He gets her outside onto the lawn just as Titan starts barking urgently at the house. The dog won't go inside. He's trained to detect explosives, drugs, and track suspects, but right now he's acting like the house itself is dangerous. Marcus checks the woman's pulse. It's there but weak. Her breathing is irregular. He recognizes the symptoms from his EMT training. Cherry-red skin, unconsciousness, confusion. This looks like carbon monoxide poisoning. "Lily, does your house have heat?" "Yes. The furnace. It's in the basement. It was making weird noises this morning." "Carbon monoxide. The furnace is putting out CO. The house is filled with it. If Marcus hadn't gotten here when he did, both this woman and her daughter would be dead by morning." Sirens approach. 2 police cruisers arrive first, followed by an ambulance 90 seconds later. Marcus explains what he found. The paramedics immediately put oxygen masks on both the woman and Lily, who was inside the house all night breathing the fumes. Fire department arrives next. They evacuate the neighboring houses and test the air inside Lily's home. The CO detector reads over 400 parts per million. Anything above 35 is dangerous. 400 is deadly. The furnace is in the basement, the fire captain tells Marcus. Old unit. Cracked heat exchanger. Been leaking CO all night. Another hour and they'd both be dead. You saved their lives. The woman, identified as Sarah Morrison, is transported to the hospital along with Lily. Both are given hyperbaric oxygen treatment. They survive, but just barely. Sarah was minutes away from permanent brain damage. Lily was luckier because she's smaller and was sleeping upstairs where some fresh air leaked in through a window crack. Marcus visits them at the hospital that evening. Sarah is awake, pale but alive. Lily sits next to her bed, clutching her mother's hand. "You saved us," Sarah says, her voice hoarse. Lily said a biker with a police dog came. She said the dog wouldn't go in the house. Titan's a retired K9. He's trained to detect threats. Something about that environment triggered his alert response. Probably saved all of us. I don't know how to thank you. Just get better. Make sure you get a CO detector and get that furnace checked by professionals. Sarah's face darkens. Actually, my boyfriend checked it 3 days ago. Mike. He said it was fine. Something about the way she says it makes Marcus pause. Your boyfriend? We've been together for 8 months. He moved in 2 months ago. Lily doesn't really like him. They don't get along great, but he's been helping with the bills and fixing things around the house. Where is he now? I don't know. He left yesterday afternoon. Said he was going to visit his brother in Memphis. He's supposed to be back tomorrow. Marcus's instincts, honed by years of security work and riding with a club that deals with dangerous situations, start screaming. Sarah, did you and Mike have any problems recently? She hesitates. We had a fight 3 days ago. A bad one. I told him I wanted him to move out. He got really angry, broke some dishes, scared Lily. But then he apologized and said he'd fix the furnace for me as a peace offering. He was down there for like 2 hours. Marcus's blood runs cold. What day was that? Saturday, 3 days ago. The same day the furnace started leaking CO. The same day Mike said he fixed it. Sarah, I need you to think carefully. Is there any reason Mike would want to hurt you? Her eyes widen. You think, no, he wouldn't, would he? If you believe bikers are the good people, hit that like and subscribe button. Marcus calls Detective Helen Price with Metro Nashville PD immediately. He's worked with her before on other situations where the Renegade's MC provided information. She takes his call seriously. You're saying you think the boyfriend sabotaged the furnace? The timeline fits. They fight. She kicks him out. He offers to fix the furnace. The furnace starts leaking deadly CO. He conveniently leaves town. Sarah and her daughter nearly die. Helen, this wasn't an accident. I'll need to talk to the fire inspector. Get a formal report on that furnace. If there's evidence of tampering, we've got a case. The fire inspector examines the furnace the next day. What he finds is damning. The heat exchanger didn't crack naturally. Someone deliberately damaged it with a hammer or similar tool. The damage was hidden behind access panels. It was designed to leak CO slowly, filling the house over hours. The person who did this knew what they were doing. This is attempted murder, the inspector tells Detective Price. Whoever did this wanted someone dead. Police put out a warrant for Mike Hendricks, age 36. But he's not in Memphis visiting his brother. His brother hasn't seen him in 2 years. Mike lied about where he was going. 2 days later, Detective Price calls Marcus. We found him, pulled him over near the Alabama border. He had Sarah's jewelry, her laptop, and $5,000 in cash he'd stolen from her savings. He was running. Did he confess? He lawyered up immediately, but the evidence is solid. Damaged furnace, stolen property, motive. We charged him with attempted murder, aggravated assault, burglary, and theft. The investigation reveals much more than anyone expected. Mike Hendricks, age 36, has a carefully constructed history of deception. His previous girlfriend, Rachel Chen, died 3 years ago in a house fire in Chattanooga. She was 28 years old. The fire was ruled accidental at the time. Gas stove left on overnight, house filled with gas, a spark ignited it. But now, with this carbon monoxide case showing Mike's pattern, detectives are reopening that investigation with fresh eyes and new forensic techniques. Then they find something that changes everything. Insurance policies. Multiple policies. Mike took out a $50,000 life insurance policy on Sarah 2 months ago through an online company that didn't require medical exams. Sarah signed the paperwork thinking it was renter's insurance that Mike said they needed for the landlord. She never read it carefully, trusting him completely. He was the sole beneficiary. Detectives also discovered that Mike had taken out a $40,000 policy on Rachel Chen 6 months before she died. He collected that money and used it to pay off debts before moving to Nashville. He was planning this from the beginning, Detective Price tells Marcus during a follow-up interview. This is his pattern. Find a woman, move in fast, gain trust, take out insurance, create an accident, collect money, disappear, start over somewhere new. Sarah would have been his second victim. If you hadn't been riding through that neighborhood, if Lily hadn't been brave enough to run for help, if Titan hadn't alerted, Sarah would be dead and Mike would be $50,000 richer. The case goes to trial 9 months later in Davidson County Criminal Court. The prosecution has built an overwhelming case. The damaged furnace with clear evidence of deliberate tampering documented in photographs and expert testimony. The stolen property recovered from Mike's car during his arrest. The insurance policy with forged initials and misleading descriptions. Financial records showing Mike Hendricks was $50,000 in debt from gambling losses and payday loans, making him desperate for money. Testimony from Sarah and Lily about his controlling behavior, anger issues, and the violent fight 3 days before the furnace failed. Testimony from neighbors who heard Mike yelling threats during arguments. The previous girlfriend Rachel Chen's death is also reopened by Chattanooga investigators. New forensic analysis of the gas stove finds evidence that safety features were deliberately disabled and the pilot light was tampered with. Fresh interviews with Rachel's friends reveal Mike had become increasingly controlling and aggressive in the months before her death. Rachel had told her best friend she was planning to leave him. 2 weeks later, she was dead. Mike collected $40,000 and disappeared. The pattern is undeniable. Mike Hendricks is a serial killer who uses appliances as murder weapons. The trial lasts 2 weeks. Mike's defense tries to claim the furnace damage was accidental, that Sarah is lying out of spite, that he took the insurance policy out of love and concern for her welfare. They paint him as a devoted boyfriend who was trying to help a struggling single mother. They claim the stolen property was rightfully his, gifts Sarah gave him that he was entitled to keep. The jury doesn't believe a single word. They see through the lies. They hear the terror in Sarah's voice as she describes waking up dizzy and confused, unable to help her daughter. They see Lily, now 8 years old, crying on the witness stand as she describes trying to wake her mommy, being so scared, running barefoot in the cold to find help. They hear Marcus testify about Titan's alert behavior, about dragging Sarah out of the house minutes before she would have died. They hear the fire inspector explain how the furnace was deliberately damaged to leak carbon monoxide slowly, methodically, designed to kill everyone inside without obvious signs of foul play. The jury deliberates for 3 hours across one afternoon. Guilty on all counts in Sarah Morrison's case: attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault, burglary, theft, insurance fraud. Guilty of second-degree murder in Rachel Chen's death after Chattanooga prosecutors joined the case. Guilty of fraud related to the insurance payout he collected after Rachel's death. The judge, a 62-year-old woman who's presided over violent crime cases for 20 years, has seen evil before. But this case particularly disturbs her. She sentences Mike Hendricks to 55 years for the attempted murder of Sarah and Lily, another 25 years for Rachel's murder, another 10 years for the fraud charges, all sentences to run consecutively, 85 years total. At age 36, Mike will die in prison. He will never breathe free air again. He will never hurt another woman. Sarah and Lily testify about the terror of that morning, how Sarah woke up feeling dizzy and confused, how Lily couldn't wake her mom, how Lily ran outside and saw Marcus on his motorcycle, how Titan wouldn't enter the house. "That dog saved my life," Sarah tells the court. "If he hadn't alerted, Marcus would have gone inside without knowing the danger. We'd all be dead." 3 years later, Sarah and Lily are doing remarkably well considering the trauma they endured. They moved to a different house in a safer neighborhood with working carbon monoxide detectors installed on every floor and in every bedroom. Sarah has a new job as a medical records clerk at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, working regular daytime hours with good benefits and supportive coworkers who know her story. Lily is 10 years old now, in 4th grade at a highly rated public school, and thriving academically and socially. She's on the soccer team and in the school choir. She has friends, sleepovers, a normal childhood. Both mother and daughter still have nightmares sometimes about that terrifying November morning when Sarah wouldn't wake up and Lily ran barefoot into the cold street. But intensive therapy through a victims assistance program has helped them process the trauma and build resilience. They've learned that asking for help is strength, not weakness. That survival is victory. They visit Marcus and Titan regularly, at least once a month, usually bringing home-baked cookies or brownies as thank you gifts Marcus always insists aren't necessary, but secretly loves. Lily calls Titan her hero and guardian angel wrapped in fur. She brings him premium dog treats and throws tennis balls for him in Marcus's large fenced backyard. Titan, now 9 years old with gray starting to show around his muzzle, moves a little slower because of that old knee injury and general aging, but his tail still wags vigorously whenever Lily arrives. He remembers her. Dogs don't forget the people they save. Marcus and the Renegades MC created the Titan Alert Fund after the case concluded, naming it in honor of the K9 who detected danger when humans couldn't. The fund has multiple missions. It provides free carbon monoxide detectors to low-income families who can't afford them, distributing units through partnerships with social service agencies and domestic violence shelters. In 3 years, they've distributed over 800 detectors across Middle Tennessee. 2 families have reported that the detectors saved their lives when faulty heating systems or appliances started leaking dangerous levels of CO, giving them early warning to evacuate and call for help before anyone was seriously harmed. The fund also provides financial support for retiring police K9s, helping them find homes with their handlers or with qualified owners who understand their specialized training and unique needs. K9s are expensive to maintain even in retirement, veterinary care, special diets, ongoing training to keep them mentally stimulated. 14 retired K9s have been successfully placed through the program in 3 years, all living comfortable retirements as cherished companions. Sarah speaks at domestic violence awareness events and community safety seminars. She talks openly about the warning signs she missed with Mike Hendricks. How he was charming at first, sweeping her off her feet. How he slowly isolated her from friends by creating drama and making her feel guilty. How he controlled money by managing their account. How she almost didn't survive ignoring those red flags. I thought I was smart enough not to fall for an abuser, she tells audiences. But they don't announce themselves. They come in as saviors, helpers. They make you dependent slowly. Then they make you vulnerable. I'm alive because my daughter Lily was brave enough to ask a stranger for help. And because that stranger had a dog named Titan who knew danger. Detective Price was promoted to sergeant after successfully prosecuting the case. She now runs a task force investigating suspicious deaths involving partners. Mike's case opened her eyes to how many accidents might be murders. Her team has reopened 47 cases in 3 years. 13 resulted in new charges. 7 resulted in convictions. The fire inspector who examined Sarah's furnace and documented the deliberate tampering now teaches specialized training classes to first responders, police investigators, and fire marshals across Tennessee about recognizing signs of deliberate carbon monoxide poisoning. It's more common than people think. Abusers use CO as a murder method because it's invisible, completely odorless, tasteless, and deaths are often ruled accidental without thorough investigation. His training programs have helped identify 3 additional attempted murders. Mike Hendricks sits in Riverbend Maximum Security Prison, serving 85 years. He's been assaulted twice by other inmates who learned why he's there. Even hardened criminals hate men who try to kill women and children. He spends most time in protective custody, isolated. He'll never see freedom again. Nobody mourns. Titan lived to be 12 years old. He died peacefully at home with Marcus by his side, surrounded by his renegades brothers who all came to say goodbye. Over 200 people attended his memorial service, including dozens of former police officers and K-9 handlers. Lily and Sarah were there, Lily sobbing as she placed a tennis ball on Titan's memorial stone. The stone reads, "Titan, hero, partner. He saved lives even after his badge was retired. A good boy until the very end." Marcus got another rescue dog after Titan passed. A Belgian Malinois named Valor, also a retired police K-9. Valor rides in the same custom sidecar. Marcus jokes that he's keeping the tradition alive. Lily visits every month. She's 13 now and wants to be a veterinarian. She credits Titan with inspiring her. "He saved me twice," she says, "once from the CO, and once from giving up when I had nightmares. Knowing he was out there made me feel safe." The Renegades MC still distributes CO detectors. They've expanded to include smoke alarms and fire extinguishers. They partner with domestic violence shelters to provide safety equipment to women leaving dangerous situations. Sarah remarried 2 years ago to a man named David, who treats her and Lily with respect. They have a CO detector in every room. It's excessive, but Sarah doesn't care. "I'll never take chances again," she says. The case changed how Metro Nashville PD investigates appliance-related deaths. They now automatically check for signs of tampering. 3 cases in the past 3 years turned out to be homicides, not accidents. Those families got justice because of lessons learned from Sarah's case. Marcus still rides those same Nashville streets every morning after his security company shifts end. He still watches carefully for people in trouble, for situations that don't look right. Still answers calls for help without hesitation. Because that's what he does. That's what the Renegades do. That's who they are at their core. And he'll never forget that November morning when a little girl in bare feet and pajamas ran into the street begging for help. When Titan knew something was wrong before any human did. When those few minutes made the difference between life and death. "Please save my mom," Lily had begged desperately. And he did exactly that. With the help of a retired police dog who never forgot his training, who never stopped protecting, who knew danger even when humans couldn't see it. That's what heroes do, human or animal. They answer the call, they run toward danger, they save lives, and they never ask for thanks. They just do what's morally right. Like and subscribe for more stories.